This is the podcast that walked. Chat room's gonna love that. I'm just gonna let that stay in too. Welcome to the podcast that rocked, weekly podcast that talks about news in the world of rock, metal, alternative, and everything in between. My name is Luke.
My name is Alex.
And my name is Rowan.
And with us is our producer, Mr. Pearl, who is sitting here right now.
Pearl. Love you, Pearl.
I'm aware that Pearl is a bigger star on my channel than I am, and I'm okay with that. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you for joining us live. If you are watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in and engaging with the chat room. I hope the chat room behaves itself as always, but that's always a selfish wish when you're a content creator because you never know who's going to pop in and be weird. 50 likes, however, if this video and podcast is liked 50 times while we're live, we will play a round of Festival Rock or Flop where we book a random festival. Last week, we have booked 2. One was great, the other, not so much. So, it wasn't the worst by a long shot, it just wasn't great. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I that's being very nice about it. It was not awesome.
It's not the worst. We've had worse. That's fair. So,
that's fair.
That being said, please continue to share the word, spread links, tell your friends on Discord servers and Blue Sky that we're live. The more the merrier. It really does help us out. And thank you so much for everyone. This isn't the Walked podcast. Ban him from the chat. Anyway, hope you all are doing well. Hope you all are in a positive, uplifted, and motivated mood as we enter into December, our first podcast of the last month of 2024. We survived 2024 so far. However, one band that may not survive is Knocked Loose if you ask all the boomers, angry conservatives, and somehow aging industry executives who are quite upset with Jimmy Kimmel. So, Alex and Rowan are already aware of the story. I mean, we've all been kept up to date with this as it's gone on. The reason why we're bringing it up now, because it happened last week during the whole shenanigans with the holidays here in the US. But we got an updated statement. So, what I want to talk about now is one, we cannot play the Knocked Loose and Poppy amazing stage performance because YouTube will have a fit. Alex and Rowan, I'm assuming you both watched the full thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts on it at all? Alex, you go first, just in general.
It was awesome. It was so cool. It's always awesome, and we always get super stoked, I think, as a collective, when we see metal on, like, national TV like that. So I was stoked about it.
Very cool. Rowan, how about you?
No, yeah, same point. Poppy was just also, like, an amazing, like, surprise, too. That was just, like, a lot of fun to see. Again, it's like when Gojira played at the Olympics. It feels like metal is getting more actual mainstream attention, and I'm all for it.
And I think those are both great responses as well. One thing I really appreciated, they really did make it into like a festival performance with so much pyro. They went above and beyond for a show like this. So I've seen so many of the Jimmy Kimmel performances with rock and metal bands because he's done a decent job. And his show over the years, like giving bands that spotlight. I can't remember the last time I saw full pyro jets and actual engagement with the crowd and things like that, actually doing the crowd work. The audience for Knocked Loose was present. There wasn't full-on crowd killing because I think Jimmy Kimmel and studio lot security would straight up tase them, but that's a different story. I thought it was great. We mostly thought it was great. However, there was a very vocal minority who is extremely not just upset, offended that this happened. Everything from that's just screaming and yelling, it's not music, all the way to it's way too violent, this should not have been seen on TV, there's even a cross in the back and they're not Christian, there's so much fire, that woman is evil. Oh, I've seen everything. And some of this was not just coming from random online discourse. This was coming from like news networks and other things like that too, talking about how public or network stations are now dirty and blasphemous because Knocked Loose and Poppy performed live.
I would just love to think that there was like some octogenarian grandmother. She's like, she tunes into Jimmy Kimmel like every like week or however long he does his show. She turns it on, she sees Knocked Loose, and it's just like the worst thing ever for her.
I would like to read the one quote that Loudwire pulled out. This is one also showed on CNN because this made actual like big name websites, the backlash, not the performance, the backlash. You know, I was trying to enjoy the program. I was sitting on the couch with my son, who is an adolescent, all caps, waiting to see the musical guests because we like the nice music the show usually books. By the third or fourth junt from the guitars, my son was in tears. He doesn't like scary things, and quite frankly, I think the Kimmel Show and the staff should make a formal apology. So,
Can I take things for that didn't happen for 100? Your son was in tears. Adolescent, what are we talking? 12? A 12-year-old was crying
Minimum.
over a genty guitar.
let's go ahead and just give them benefit of the doubt. Say 12. Youngest you can be under the adolescent phase. I usually stay up way late at night with my 12-year-old to watch the musical guests because we usually enjoy all of them except this one. What? And you are crying over it?
Yeah, tears, really? If your son actually cries because they can't handle a gent guitar and they're 12, I'm sorry, that is a child that deserves to be bullied.
The other one...
Music?
Go ahead, Alex.
I was going to say, if the music, offended the child that much, first of all, if you're so worried about your adolescent, the kid needs to be in bed because it's a school night.
Yeah.
So it's your fault.
So, and this is the best point I can point about this, because other people are not just it's screaming, it's yelling, it's not music. That's a totally different argument. If you're not into hardcore or metal, you're not going to like Knock Loose anyway. That's a totally different argument. How long have you been watching the Jimmy Kimmel live show? They get raunchy and inappropriate all the time.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Almost every episode. They go really far. Remember mean tweets? They still pull that out every now and then. Censored profanity and gratuitous insults and vulgar stuff. But this was too far? The pyro jets? Really?
Oh, no.
Dude, also, by the way, Knocked Loose is not the first, heavy metal band to be on Kimmel.
Not even close.
Rammstein's performance on Kimmel is freaking awesome. You want to talk about amazing pyrotechnics, that's probably the only one that would beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened that this was the performance that everyone drew the swords for, and station networks and things like that actually had to respond to so much backlash. Jimmy Kimmel himself has not said a word about it. Otherwise, they have not made any formal apology. He's not going to. I'm pretty sure even he knows it's not even worth that. Two, what I'm surprised about, and this is just my viewpoint on this, I don't have any backing information. Jimmy Kimmel's audience is usually left-leaning, based in California, and more of that ilk, and left-leaning. I'm not making a political statement on that. So I'm surprised they were offended by Knocked Loose, who, what from I see, was only the older audiences and the very upset, very angry, wholesome people watching with their adolescents. That doesn't seem right. Something doesn't add up.
Sounds like they weren't even actually watching it. They were just like, oh, I heard there was metal on TV. Let's go comment about it.
Oh my god, he's screaming! He's not singing!
Oh, good, this woman's coming off on the stage to stop the show. Wait, she's screaming too!
My goodness,
wait.
how could a woman be involved in this?
How can such a small woman sound like an actual demon?
Is that a bride's dress? She can't get married in that and scream. I don't know if she's wearing that or not. It's like a white dress. Just making any excuses they can, and that's exactly what this is. Brian Garrett.
It's ridiculous.
It's awful. And Brian Garrett responded yesterday saying, if you're scared, good. That's it.
Yay!
That's perfect. Also, by the way, seriously, you can change the channel. Okay, great.
I know,
You missed
right?
the musical guest.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Jimmy Kimmel, is that really the highlight for you? I hope what I'm saying is making sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're
Concerned.
saying. So
I'm concerned about this child, just in the sense that his mother is keeping him up this late every time Kimmel comes on.
to watch
Not getting the education or the sleep he needs.
It's like a form of abuse where it's like, come on, we're gonna watch Kimmel now.
I had to stay up late and take notes on Jimmy Kimmel with my mom again. Ugh.
Yeah. Like, no. You don't get to keep, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, we're going to go out to Kimmel every single night. You can stay up and eat junk food and blah, blah, blah. Oh, but it's metal. Now it's bad.
I don't ever want to hear you screaming like that, Johnny. Now go upstairs and play Call of Duty with your completely normal friends, too.
Yeah, offline only,
Stranger.
right, bro?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry, Mom. I promise I won't get online with it. Yeah. However, I did.
Ay.
All the backlash has been countered, however, with positive attention and praise. Overwhelmingly so. This is a good thing that it got this much attention, and it's not based on the performance itself. The Grammy-nominated song, Knocked Loose's new album, was shown. One quotes in another way, which was definitely intentionally a joke. I demand an apology. I had my face melted off and started throwing uncontrollable spin kicks in my living room. All my furniture is destroyed. I caught both my children in a wicked windmill. All in all, it was a 10-10 performance, but I don't think my family trusts me anymore. So, if that was the actual argument and like that really happened, then I could see Knocked Loose going, wow, we do need to tone it down. Those two kids on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Imagine it's just like, it's like we were watching the performance on Thanksgiving dinner, but then like my grandmother, she just started speaking in tongues and started crawling on our ceiling, so might not be a good fit.
Mm-hmm. Also a nice little quote that he said with if it scared you good. Walking down the hallway as we were escorted to stage, I'm looking to my left and right and seeing photos of all the celebrities that have been on the show over the years. Presidents, actors, musicians. I leaned over to Cassie Hale and said, "This started in your garage." He grabbed onto me and squeezed as hard as we could. That's a moment I'll never forget.
I love that.
Right?
That's awesome.
Honest, acknowledgement and just, completely understanding where you came from and being humble about it, too, and doing everything right and going out of your way to make an above and beyond performance. Nope, not good enough. Too much screaming on my TV at home, so...
I'm so glad that everybody got so upset about it because they're talking about it. So
I
more
agree.
people are like, "Oh, what is this?
What
is this performance?"
This could have been another dime a dozen rock band or a metal band getting a performance on late night and no one catching it or just watching it on YouTube the next day. No, it's been a talking point for a week because so many people were offended over nothing. So.
And you know what? I'm okay with that because more people are learning about Knocked Loose and Poppy now.
Girl Clutchers, you have your place in all of this, and we thank you for it.
And I hope that means Jimmy Kimmel got a view boost and rating boost, at least online the next day, so people could check it out. That had to have helped too. And then that means more bands will get booked on Jimmy Kimmel and try to outdo Knocked Loose with the screamy screams and the pyro and riling up the crowd. That's a bigger, awesome idea. So.
Now we just need Slar to prevail on Conan or something.
We have Kublai Khan come out just literally trying to scream right into the camera, grabbing the lens and shouting into the living room.
Yeah.
So I put a link to the video in the video description on this podcast. If you want to see it later, you can click on that. I do recommend it. It definitely is worth checking out. Again, it's like a festival performance for one song. And they played a whole concert for that crowd too, also everyone that came out for that show. So hats off to Knocked Loose and Poppy. Hats off to Jimmy Kimmel even. Everyone that complained about it, you have to have some bigger problems in your life. You have to. There's no way this is the biggest problem you have going on last week. No way.
Seriously.
Even
if so,
even the mom with the 12-year-old boy who cried at the screamy screams, if that's the case, you got other issues. It's not this band or Jimmy Kimmel's fault.
Yeah, why do you have such a wuss of a child?
Someone just said in chat, imagine Lorna Shore next.
make it happen.
Well, we know who's getting booked next, folks.
Yeah. If they got upset and started ranting because of Knocked Loose, it's Lorna Shore, they might actually die of shock.
My grandma died from watching the Jimmy Kimmel show. That's gonna make
a heart attack. It's
and that's gonna make them the most metal band in the world at that point.
Yes.
They're gonna get way more credit after that. So, so that was a nice little breakdown. We now have to get a little bit more serious and talk about something sad, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. That's a phrase I learned, and I like it.
I like that.
Yeah. We unfortunately have one less festival to attend next year, which sucks because I was told I'd be allowed to attend and work it. Sick New World 2025 is no more. If I had the sad violin music queued up, I need to get that out somehow.
You need like the Titanic like sinking music or
Yeah,
something.
just something like a sad little violin, a few notes. Sick New World Festival update is with great disappointment that we announced that Sick New World will no longer take place Las Vegas, April 12, 2025. Despite our best efforts, we'll get back to that, we've encountered unforeseen circumstances that we were unable to overcome for next year's show. We extend our heartfelt thanks to all those dedicated Sick New World fans who made plans to join us for another cultural celebration of hard rock, goth, alternative, and heavy music. Cultural celebration is not what they're going to Las Vegas for. I'm sorry, you can't word it that way. Even we know that's not it. Stay tuned for further information regarding Sick New World, tickets purchased, refund, point of view, blah, 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 blah. So, it sucks. Because that's one less festival that's not in a monopoly. It's one less festival that had a lot of bands getting a big fatty payday. It's a nice flat ground in the desert. They're going to have it a few weeks earlier in April, so it's not going to be as brutally hot as the first year. Oh, my wife just said, incoming Sarah McLachlan to sing In the Arms of an Angel as it flies. Oh, goodness.
Oh, you'll make us cry, Gretchen.
Woof. So, how did this happen? How could it fall apart so badly? Well, it's not so much a city of Las Vegas fighting back. It's not so much, oh, things have changed, we can't get these bands in. No. It's because the festival would have run so far in the red, everybody would have been bankrupt. Everybody. Now, the first stat, before I go into all the details on this, and thank you for the super chat, White is Silent. We will go into that also. We'll get your super chat later. We'll give your own random festival to book in replacement of Sick New World. We'll give you that one. Super chat's going too. First off, the cap for When We Were Young, same festival company, same grounds that they just had last month, was about 60,000. And that's way oversold. That's to the point of dangerous. Too many people in that venue. But they'll do it. That was the cap. Rowan, I think you already looked up the number. Alex, guess how many tickets were sold for a big event like this? Headlined by Metallica and Linkin Park, mind you.
2025?
Right? Yeah, you're in the ballpark. Rowan?
No. I was saying, for next year.
Yeah, for 2025.
I'm thinking out loud. Sorry.
Yeah, for 2025.
My gears are grinding, and they grind real hard.
Apparently.
I'm gonna say if they're that bad in the red, it had to be like less than 40.
Have it, or half. Wow,
half of what you just guessed.
That.
Yes, 20,000
really?
estimate. 1/3 of the cap after lineup.
Holy cow!
That is brutal. Now, there are some other factors going into this. Whether people like the lineup or not, that's your own opinion. This is a part of festival booking management, project management, all that. All festivals, or almost all of them, outside of maybe Coachella, once a lineup is announced, the festival makes the majority of their money in that first week after a festival lineup is announced. Once the lineup is announced, they know how much money they're going to expect, how much they're receiving in 1 week, that window. They came 1/3 of what their estimate for selling out was, and they did expect to sell out like previous years. That is not just a gut punch. That's kicking someone while they're down. That sucks. And it was fewer bands and more money this year as well. For those we played around with guess how much the cheapest tickets are. Prices were raised again. I think it was $400 or $500 for general admittance. And it's a lot. It's 5 stages. It's a lot of great bands. Metallica and Linkin Park. That's awesome. But $500 to sit way in the back and be sunburned in expensive Las Vegas all day. I kind of get it.
See, the thing that was really bumming me out about this since we started talking about it was we had so many fewer bands.
Yeah.
And that, higher price tag for fewer bands really bummed me out big time. But I was also kind of bummed that it wasn't, I don't even know how else to phrase it, but as special as the first 2 years, because Metallica and Linkin Park are touring extensively.
Especially Linkin Park. Especially
Yeah.
a lot of dates through 2025.
So it wasn't really that special like the past years have been.
I mean, just
like you want someone.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
No, yeah, you kind of like want someone who's not necessarily like active, like currently. You want like to make it feel more like an event.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, like, again, that was one of 2 System of a Down performances all last year. That was the beginning. That was Slipknot's debut in the orange jumpsuits to start off. And like before they announced their anniversary tour, they did that special thing. No one knew they were going to do that. So those are 2 unique things right there. Linkin Park, we know what to expect. Metallica, we know what to expect. Household names. Yes, we get that. But also 20 less bands? That is a lot less. That's not just saying, okay, we have to cut 5 or 6 bands. That's a full stage and a half, like a day's lineup. That's brutal. So, we also then get to what was leaked. So we play a new guessing game. Again, Rowan, you may already know. Alex, guess how much Metallica and Linkin Park were supposed to be paid each.
Ooh, each. Okay. Couple million each.
Is that your guess? 2
I don't know how many couples. No, let's go. I think 3. 3 each.
3 million for Metallica, 3 million for Linkin Park. Higher. Gotta go higher.
Are you kidding me?
Right? Right?
Yes.
Metallica and Linkin Park were expected to receive $5 million each. Now, that's $10 million for 2 bands, your headliners, who have not even sold 1/3 of your projected sellout lineup. Keep in mind also, we don't know for sure if the $5 million was going to go to the band and the touring crew and production and all that. Hopefully it does. Like, they get something, But still, yes, $5 million for 2 hours work and all the setup for Metallica.
Holy cow.
And Linkin Park, the same. So, $10 million budget, like whatever Sick New World's budget is for festival booking and booking management and stuff like that. Talent buying, that's what I was looking for. 10 million of it, 2 bands. That is insane. From a project management and a talent buying stuff for festivals, that's wild.
I wish I could have been a fly on the wall during those meetings. Like, what should we do with this, $20 million or whatever the end budget was.
Yeah.
What do we do with this? Well, why don't we cut 20 bands and get these 2 bands that are touring the whole year? Like, what kind of conversations went here?
It's like when someone, it's like those things on Instagram where someone's like, oh, you have $100. Pick out, like a bunch of different things. It's like different tiers based on cost or something.
$5 for Metallica, $4 for Linkin Park. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that. And someone just made the most mismanaged thing. Yeah.
You have $15 to book a full festival. Okay, the 2 most expensive bands. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
What? No, that's not how you do this. So
yeah, no. These guys are big. This is all we need. It's like, no, you don't.
It does make the argument though. Okay, so say you take Metallica. We'll say Metallica because Linkin Park had not announced their tour yet. If you remember, Metallica announced their tour and that leaked them performing at Sick New World, which also did not help sales. Man, that is worse. That's way worse too. But still, say just Metallica. You didn't have Linkin Park on that one. That's $5 million you could have had as a buffer to put back into the festival, even if you didn't want to book more bands. How much more you could have done with that?
I wonder how much System of a Down cost.
Because they were helping promote it, put it on too. So it's totally different for them. Like Slipknot, that'd be a good one. How much for Slipknot? Because some of the guys were already living in Vegas or LA. To get them out there and they were going to go on tour anyway, couldn't have been that brutal.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I can't. I probably wouldn't have any information, but I feel like even a good draw band would be $1 million or something like that at most.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's just
I get what you're saying. Yeah, say Slipknot got 1 million. That's complete conjecture. No way of me knowing that. I have no idea. Guess. Say Slipknot got 1 million. Okay, and it worked beautifully, and people paid in. $5 million for Metallica, $5 more million for Linkin Park, and the rest of the festival, just do whatever you can. Book whatever bands are in the area, whoever can get here. We don't care.
Yeah.
That is swinging for the cheap seats, letting go of the grip of the bat, and the bat just flying off into the stands. For a baseball analogy. That's how bad of a whiff this was. And I say this as someone who enjoyed their time at Sick New World last year and wanted to go again this year.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I'm wearing my Sick New World t-shirt today. In memoriam.
We're in mourning for another festival that got crushed. One positive I will say about this, and I do compliment the festival people, the people that ran this and everything. They did not wait months before putting this out. They did not go, oh man, maybe we can make something work after the holidays and we'll try to make it a statement, see if we can scrounge up more money. They realized what was happening and they cut dry. And they let fans... That's a very nice thing to do, at least for the people that already bought tickets and hotels and planes, so they could do something way earlier. So...
you have ample time as a fan to, cancel all the reservations and all that stuff. Yeah.
Many festivals would not even try to do that except 2 weeks out. So I will say that is one thing I can truly compliment them on. As soon as they found out, they said, okay, we got to let everyone know this isn't happening.
Yeah.
So, and who knows, this does not mean that Sick New World can't happen in 2025. Maybe they'll do it in fall with a new lineup. That's not going to be budget busting to the point of putting everyone in the poorhouse in Vegas.
Now, I think they're still out of pocket a little bit. And Luke, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but wasn't there I think in that same article we read, there was something where it's the bands that were advertised still get some money just because they were they were signed on.
They do, including the headliners. And and the headliners guarantee is going to be significantly more than some of the smaller bands on the card, obviously. So they're getting something out of it, and but it's not going to be close to what they would have gotten for a full day's work, selling merch, touring, and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's my hope that they'll be able to book shows at all the many venues in Vegas for that weekend, people that have to be there anyway. So maybe something like that can happen, but we'll have to wait and see from there. But right now, Vegas ruined more lives. That's how we're going to end that little segment. Vegas destroyed more people.
Vegas.
So we're going to be a little bit brief about this. I'm trying to be as serious as possible because this happened, if I'm correct, over the weekend. I could have been wrong on the date. But we lost another rock musician and a big name, even though he was completely out of the music industry for years. Bob of My Chemical Romance, Bob Bryar, former drummer, passed away at 44. That is not old. And what's worse is he was found in his home weeks after he passed away. So
they don't even know what happened to him, right?
They what's the right word? Police and investigators said there was no foul play involved. They don't expect anything like that. They're still working on toxicology and things. He left My Chemical Romance or was forced out. I should not say left. He was removed from My Chemical Romance years ago. He joined the band after 3 Cheers and was the drummer on the Black Parade and Danger Days. So he was a crucial part of My Chemical Romance for a while. He was completely out of the music business. He sold his Black Parade drum kit. He did all that. He was into real estate after that. So he was just done with music. So it really sucks to see someone go out that early at 44 and the way he did and things like that. The bands responded. Frank Iero put a long post about it. So, yeah, it's dark.
That is a bummer. Big time.
Yeah.
So here's hoping the band, the family, everyone involved are able to get together and do everything right by that they can. It's not their responsibility to know what was going on with Bob Bryar, and we'll find more out as it goes on, but still, that is awful. No one should have to go out alone and like that, and everyone find out in such a shocking, brutal way, too. So, yeah. Listen to the Black Parade, and I'm pretty sure he performed with them on Saturday Night Live. He would have to. He was the drummer for that, too, when they performed on their now infamous Saturday Night Live performance where they said they hated it. The band just hated it. Not because of the way they sounded, just they hated Saturday Night Live. That type of thing. So, yeah, it sucks, but we wanted to point out that. So, let's point out some good news. And we already spoke about her very briefly in jovial gesture of her screaming at the crowd and all the very, very respectable, nice church ladies who are protecting their kids on watching Jimmy Kimmel. That makes sense. One, Madame Poppy is the artist of the year for Revolver, and I think that's pretty awesome because they could have chose a lot of different people, and they usually do. I don't know if they've ever gone for a solo female artist like that. And you know what? I kind of get it. All the work she's done, Knocked Loose, Bad Omens, her own album, which is amazing, her insane, bonkers reality sketch show, whatever you want to call it, probably Poppy, and a bunch of touring next year. Yeah, Poppy's earned it.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts of your favorite Poppy moments of 2024? Because there's a lot of weird ones. A lot.
Honestly, for me, 2024 was my year of Poppy. Like, this is the year I really started getting into it. It was like, okay, who is this? What is she doing? What's going on? I've heard of her over the years. I never really dug in, right? 2024 comes around, and I'm like, I gotta find out what this woman is about. And then the Bad Omens, you know, collab came about, and then Knocked Loose collab came about, and she performed at Sick New World, and I'm like, okay, I love this. And then she dropped her album, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm here for Poppy, 100%.
Gotcha. Rowan, any thoughts about Poppy?
No, yeah, like I haven't really I knew who she was beforehand. Like I've heard of her and I watched like some of those like old surreal videos that first got her attention. But this year, like my favorite thing from her musically was definitely like the Bad Omens collaboration, especially Violence Against Nature. But even the show too, that was like a lot of fun to watch. It's very like trippy,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And again, it's just so cool seeing all this, like her getting all this recognition. Oh yeah, and her Spirit Box performance as well. That was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
And also, like, speaking of Sick New World, she was not advertised for Sick New World. She was a surprise for both Bad Omens and Knocked Loose when she came this 2024. Like, she came on stage for both bands, performed with them. She was not advertised in any way. It was a big surprise for both, so that's something cool she does too.
It was so cool.
It was. And someone just asked in the chat, any song recommendations for Poppy? Honestly, the best way to do it is listen to that Bad Omens and Poppy collaboration, Violence Against Nature, and then check out the new album this year. The new album this year, I think, might be Poppy's strongest because it's the most easily digestible as well. Poppy gets a little wild. So this one's a lot more... It's great, but it's also something you can actually check out without getting whiplash from all the transitions and stuff. Poppy does a lot. So,
Yeah,
see?
I agree. Van
Ni-
is the way to go. That's the best Poppy track from the year, I think.
So, nice positive things, more Poppy in 2025. You know what we're not getting in 2025? Well, shouldn't say we. The UK's not getting in 2025, and that is one Ronald Radke the third, not the third. I don't even care what name he is. He has canceled even more dates for 2025. He was defeated and UK won. Now, why did I say UK won? Because the UK has flat out said he's not allowed to come and perform in the country. He is being straight up denied his visa for all of UK. He's been to Europe over the last year or two, but he had to cancel even more dates. On top of the dates he's already made hissy fits about. Canceling and not explaining why through Europe, through United States, whatever it might be. It's starting to add up. And some of you might be saying, hey, at least we know why this time. Okay, what about all the other many, many times where he's not saying why? Including last week, and this is where I don't have the video clip up yet. I might link to it. John from ARTV broke it down beautifully. For those who are not aware, Ronnie Radke streams on Kick, not Twitch. Kick.
Oh,
Now,
great.
Did you hear that groan that Rowan just gave? Kick is the streaming platform for gamers where if you get kicked off Twitch because you're too awful, racist, sexist, homophobic, promote awful illegal activities, and you do something terrible on Twitch and you get banned, you go stream on Kick.
Yeah, no, people stream literal crimes on on Kick. It is a wasteland, and pretty much like everyone's chats are nothing but bots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was streaming on there before this announcement today that dropped about canceling the UK tour, complaining and calling out fans for asking him why they canceled European dates, not these UK dates. He was yelling at his own fans. You don't know what it's like to book a show and how many things can go wrong. You're all just leeches and parasites. You don't get it. Now, what was he doing while streaming and condemning his own fans who wanted to know why the shows were canceled and all these people lost money and time out of? He was gambling online and promoting gambling online and playing online websites like not just sports betting, actual like game gambling, and recommending people to gamble with him.
Yeah. By the way, fun fact, chat: Kick owns like several gambling sites, so they sponsor like all their streamers to like to play those to get more people in it. Yeah.
So everything unfortunately fits. It sucks to say, but this absolutely tracks. So, in an Instagram story post, the band confirmed that Raki was denied the necessary visa to enter the UK as he previously served prison time of over 12 months back in 2008. That was for not the domestic assault crime that he was already on probation for, another one where he brought brass knuckles to another fight, intending to hurt someone while he was already on parole. Let's just move
Voices.
on. I know. That's why the UK is like, we're not letting this guy in our country. No. So,
I mean,
we regret to announce that the Home Office has denied Ronnie's visa application for the remaining 2024 UK shows. UK is currently refusing entry to visa applicants who served more than 12 months prison time. It's not just a Ronnie thing. It's an everyone thing that if you did more than a year of jail, no, we're not going to let you in right now. Forget it. So, I say this as someone who has already called out their booking and tour manager and Ronnie Radke himself for booking venues this past tour in the US and the stages being too small for their production, so they just say, screw it, we won't perform. This is not information that's hidden. You can Google, can I come to your country if I did a felony and serve time? That's something that like AI can answer for you.
that's definitely something you should have known before planning the tour.
Something that like someone involved in your company would be able to like find and tell you.
Yes. Many people. Like even one person way down the food chain at their label or their touring company, they could have done that too. Hey, is he going to be okay to come? I know there's UK is putting out a weird thing. Not even like an accusation against Radke, but also just saying, hey, UK doesn't allow anyone that served felonies over a year in right now.
Yeah, no, this is a federal policy.
Yeah.
There's no yeah.
How do you blow it that badly? How does this keep happening with this band?
Seriously. How?
Ugh.
Yeah.
So, several canceled shows in Europe, which Ronnie Radke refuses to explain, and then this public statement about the UK where he's not even allowed in the country. Also, his girlfriend's from that country, from the United Kingdom. Awkward. So, just not going to they didn't go to Thanksgiving this year, or Christmas. And
He did
to
it
her
on
house.
purpose. He didn't the in-laws.
Oh!
He's like, oh,
Alex doesn't realize how funny that comment actually is when you realize his girlfriend is a pro wrestler and her family is very notorious for being a problematic wrestling family in IRL.
There is a movie.
Fighting with my family. Yeah. And there were more accusations. Some of the family was in the Me Too accusation stuff on Soraya's side. Yeah. Nothing against Soraya.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what we know. That's
Your
why.
dad's like, welcome to the family.
Yeah. So.
okay, my statement, I'm sticking to that. He did it because he didn't want to meet the in-laws.
So yeah, Alex does not realize just how much of a bullseye she made on that. So. Goodness. So. Like, if you're a Falling in Reverse fan, I've said it before. If you really enjoy their music, whatever, I'm not going to try to dissuade you otherwise. But what do you say about all these cancellations? There's no way you can keep going. Well, there's just problems, especially when he's calling out his own fans for wanting to know why.
Yeah.
And then encouraging you to gamble while you watch him gamble. That's weird. That one I haven't heard before, to be honest. So.
Telling you, choices across the board, they're all bad.
The Kick footage is on ARTV's channel on YouTube, and it's also on many other YouTube channels. Oh, it got screen capped. Oh, there's a lot of it online right now. Woof. So, that all happened. It was a mess. And, if you enter Australia and you have a criminal conviction, it's extremely difficult to enter the country. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that's most countries now that I think about it. In the United States is an outlier. It only depends if you served time in a specific country. Meaning, if you did a year worth of jail in Mexico, they won't let you in. If you did a year of jail in Canada, whatever. Sounds rough, right? Yeah, it's a country by country base where you served. That's not problematic at all.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. So, and yes, Soraya does deserve better. I agree. She has her own past history. For those who are not aware, Soraya, formerly Paige in WWE, was originally engaged to the bassist of A Day to Remember. Yes, that was the bassist who got kicked out for the grooming charges and the Me Too stuff. She then dated Franz from Attila. She then dated who she's been with now for years and lived with for years, Mr. Radke. So there's definitely a track record. When I met her and she was super nice in 2017 at the Self-Help Festival, A Day to Remember's festival, she was currently dating the member of Attila, who was playing that festival. At A Day to Remember's festival, who was also playing that day, with her fiance in the back, or ex-fiance in the back, and Falling Reverse was also at that festival. So it was a weird little, your past, present, and future partners are all at this one-day festival in Florida. It was real weird. She might have a type. That's all I'm saying.
Obviously.
So, that being said, we had a lot of stuff to cover. Before we get into our album discussion for what our favorite albums are for the 90s, which we did before, let's talk about tours and albums that we have upcoming. Because just today, some big fat tours got announced. And yesterday, too.
Fatty fat ones for sure.
Correct. Alex, we'd give the time to you. What happened in the world of touring announcements?
Well, I am super excited, and I know a lot of us will agree on this one. Spirit Box. They just released details on Tsunami Sea coming out in March.
Yes.
And they've got a whole tour lined out for this. So it's going to be across the US and Canada. We've got Loathe, Dying Wish, and Gel as support.
Yes.
This is going to kick off in April, and it runs through like mid-May. So Spirit Box hitting the road in support of Tsunami Sea. I'm super excited about it.
And that is an awesome lineup, like perfectly booked and well-fitting for Loathe, who has had to push off their upcoming album stuff several times. They were amazing. Then Dying Wish and Gel. So you have a lot of lady hardcore representation, which is nice too, all headlined by Spirit Box. That's really cool.
That's going to be awesome. We also have Poison the Well. They just announced a North American tour in celebration of the 1999 album Opposite of December, A Season of Separation. So we've got Poison the Well, Glassjaw, Better Lovers, and Teenage Wrist.
Any Better Lovers recognition is always going to get a mention on this channel.
Yeah, that's going to be great. So April, it looks like it's only in April so far. So
yes,
check that one out, most definitely. We've also got Meshuggah, Cannibal Corpse, and Carcass just announced a North American tour.
And the Jimmy Kimmel live performance tour.
It's on there. It says right there. Just kidding.
No, I know.
Breaking
That's
Benjamin
like the
and
final.
Stained.
Yeah. Leg 2, if I'm correct. Breaking Benjamin and Stained.
Yeah, so North American tour. We've got Wage War and Lakeview as the openers on this one, kicking off April and running through June.
Okay. The Divorced Dad Rock Tour Part 2. Okay.
Woo. And AC/DC. This one's exciting.
The big one.
AC/DC
Yeah.
are returning to North America. They haven't been back since 2016.
Play ball.
And this is crazy. Yep. This is awesome because in 2016, I don't know if you remember, Axl Rose was actually filling in for Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was oh my god, wow, that really
I know, it was so long ago now.
And if I'm correct, he had to borrow Dave Grohl's guitar throne for a little bit on that tour as well.
Oh, is that when he broke his ankle or his foot or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since AC/DC has played North
Yes.
America. So they're hitting the road, and they're bringing the Pretty Reckless along with them. So obviously, I'm very excited about that one, too.
Obviously, Alex is going to be arrested several times trying to sneak backstage into football stadiums. So
No, I'm just going to fix the van. It's fine. Or the bus. I'm the bus tech.
you're going to show up in a Pretty Reckless shirt. Yeah, I'm the mechanic, and like holding a wrench the wrong way and not knowing what to do.
I'm here to fix the blinker. It needs more fluid.
It needs more blinker fluid, I promise. Oh, also, can you get Taylor, by the way? No reason. Just bring her over here to watch. That's all.
I need the bus issues. Got to talk about
You wouldn't
the bus.
understand. I'm a mechanic. You're not. Get out of here.
Exactly. No, so that's going to be super awesome. I love the Pretty Reckless. AC/DC, obviously, one of those legacy acts that if you haven't seen them, you probably should.
Yes. I've said it before, like bands like Judas Priest and stuff too. See these bands that are still around while you can. Even if it's not
Seriously.
like a Father Time catching up. You might have a Jane's Addiction situation. I'm not saying that'll happen with AC/DC. But where you'll never get to see a band again because something will happen. See these bands when you can that have been around for a while.
You have to. I saw AC/DC at the Power Trip Festival. What was that, last October?
Yeah.
And they sounded awesome. It was so good.
Yep.
Yeah, we
So,
joke
like-
about. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, like we joke about like bands who have definitely not aged well and probably should quit. AC/DC, from what I've like watched and heard, they're still decent sounding.
Yeah.
Like they're still good.
And they would make it fun. So
Yeah.
I'm up for that too. I think that's great. I hope the tour does well. It will do well. It's playing all the football stadiums across, like different ones across the U.S. So it's definitely going to be a huge deal. See, a lot of big tours happening for 2025. That's good. We want more of that. So, other than that, were there any others?
There's a little one, Theory of a Dead Man Unplugged with Aaron Jones. coming
I
up in
would
February.
rather go listen to a dumpster just being like all the insides squirming around, just something like that. Just like, let me listen in here. I'm not a Theory fan. Can you tell?
You asked. I thought you were a fan. Sorry.
Oh, really? Okay. So, Rowan, I know it's getting later in the year. Are there any albums coming out December 6th?
Not December 6th. Not really anyone would know. But, this month we did get the announcement of the new Kill Switch Engage album, which is coming out in February. And I am all for that. Love those guys so much. Also, it's been like a long time since Atonement. Like, this is like 6
has.
years now, which I think is like the biggest gap between albums.
Was that
with this
2019?
band?
Was that 2019?
2019, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be up going on. It's 5 years, more than 5 years now. So yeah, going
Well, no,
on
if it's
6.
coming. Well, yeah, if it's coming out in 2025.
Yeah, so it'll be 6.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. So, very cool to see. So, before we get to our Festival Rock or Flop, we have one super chat for that as well. First, we're going to talk about our continuation of our favorite albums of the decades as we go on, because there's not as many albums to talk about. Last week, we talked about our favorite one amazing album that each of us loved from the 1980s. This time, it's the 1990s. And I'll get into some spoilers about this already. So many people are going to say, which grunge album was it, which was it? We have so many of those. We're going in a different direction on these three, and I think that's kind of awesome. Alex, I'm going to let you go first. What is your 1990s album pick that you wanted to talk about?
I'm not going to lie. I actually had a hard time. You guys aren't going to believe me, but I had a hard time narrowing it down.
Okay.
I am ultimately going with my favorite overall 90s album, which has to be Garbage by Garbage.
Yes.
Their debut.
I wouldn't have
It
thought
is-
that.
I know, you would have never guessed, right? It was actually tricky because there's so many good albums from the
There
90s,
are.
but that one is my favorite overall. It was just, for me personally, one of those pinnacle albums that shaped the way I, digest music. And I will be forever grateful to that album. All of the tracks are solid. It's a full listen front to back for me. And that's really important when you choose an album that you're going to, tell other people about.
Yeah.
I think being able to listen to it front to back without skipping any songs is very important.
It is. There, well said. We now move on to Rowan. What was your pick for the 90s?
So I went in kind of like a more prog direction. So my choice was 1996's Tool's Anima. We've said before on the show that we're all bass players. I'm going to tell you all right now, Justin Chancellor is my favorite bass player of all time.
Good choice.
The bass on Anima is absolutely insane. It's one, again, to Alex's point about Garbage, just like that album and that band has just shaped me when it comes to just like my overall taste in music. And just like, again, just like the musicianship in that album is just something that just like influences me a lot.
Very cool. And for mine, kind of like last time, it was like right at the edge of the 80s, 89. This week's kind of the same. Right at the end of the 90s, in November 1999, the one I want to talk about, Battle of Los Angeles. This was the third and final full new album for Rage Against the Machine. We didn't know that at the time. This was the album that got me into rock, like more in that direction. when I first heard Guerrilla Radio. And I was like, okay, where can I find more stuff like this? This is the album that got me in that direction when I was a young little one, and I wanted to know. I wasn't that young, but still, I was 12, 13. And like my eyes were open at that time. And hearing Guerrilla Radio and then going into the lyrics and seeing how well crafted they were. And then finding out, oh, that's all guitar work and effects. It's not extra instruments. No one's playing a harmonica in some of those songs. It's Tom Morello scratching on the strings and the fretboard with different feedbacks. So creative, so focused. It was also a perfect time for that to come out in the age of nu metal booming. Here comes Rage Against the Machine again to show everyone how it's done. And it always sticks with me because it was on the sticker on the CD copy. Ever since it was put out after it got that award, it was Time Magazine's album of the year. It beat out all the boy bands. It beat out all that other stuff. I think that's a big deal on its own. So.
Totally. That's so cool. I love that.
So. See, those were 3 great choices, and we all have our favorite grunge stuff too. I'm glad we kind of went in a different direction to talk about those 3, because I think these 3, even Tools, Anima, Garbage, Battle Los Angeles from Rage, they're not always the 90s when you think of them. You don't associate them perfectly with the 90s, when they definitely should be. So,
Agreed.
Yeah.
See, that was a nice, peaceful discussion. Next week will be the 2000s. That'll be a little trickier, but I think I have a selection down. You guys have your choices in mind already?
Oh, yeah.
That one's tougher, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I have to really consider some stuff.
I gotcha. It's down to like between 2 or 3 for me. So
Yeah, same.
I at least know what I'm looking for.
I'm also trying not to have like any repeats of bands, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to do too. So, and I think that way it'll make it easier. So, as we move on, we have one super chat from White Asylum. Sick New World broke my heart. I'm going to need a new fest to get over them. Just got my ticket for Machine Head with Lacuna Coil on the Sick New World Day sideshow that came through. That's cool. Like Machine Head and Lacuna Coil were going to be there for that. That's awesome. Lacuna Coil has their new album coming out in February too.
I love Lacuna Coil. That'll be a fun show.
It takes a really weird person to say, I don't like Lacuna Coil. Like, you would actually question, like, what's going on with you, pal? Not in a mean way. They were just like, are you all right? Do you want to talk about anything? So, thank you so much. You will get your random festival. Alex and Rowan, is there anything else we need to do before we move on to booking Festival Rock or Flop and the nonsense? Because that's what it might be. Nonsense.
Not here. Let's book it.
Good.
Let's book it. We got 58 likes. We went way past. Keep hitting the like button. We really do appreciate it. Oh, please give us something better than the last festival we booked. Every week we get the like goal. We book a random festival. And we'll have 2 days worth because White Asylum donated a $10 super chat. Thank you so much again. We'll have Asylum Fest as day 2. What do we call today's festival? I don't even know. We should think of
Sick New World.
Oh, that's right. New Sick New World. Oh, gosh. New Sick New World. Yes, that's the name of the first festival. Perfectly said. All right. We razzed, or at least I did, the festival promoters and bookers for booking a festival that didn't work out. Let's see if we can do any better. Here we go. Boy, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot after all this. This is comeuppance.
Imagine it's just like,
Imagine it's Metallica and Linkin Park again.
Or just like some big name band and just like a bunch of like kind of like lower tier bands or something like that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Band number 1 for New Sick New World. It is Dead Posey. Now, we had them before. They're a good opening act. Their debut album just came out too. Fun band. If you like Hailstorm, The Pretty Reckless, that's the type of stuff you want to do. I'm going to show them on there too. So, fun opening band. I think that's a great choice for something like that first. We're starting off there. Number 2, Hatebreed. Getting increasingly heavier. Number 3, The Pretty Reckless. Well, we know someone that's going.
Dude, I booked it.
Number 4, 21 Pilots. Boy, has this festival taken a random change. Taylor Momsen opening up for 21 Pilots. Okay. And number 5, Gojira.
All right.
I gotta be honest, it's probably the only swing for me, Gojira, because everyone else, I'm not like... when we make the poll, I'm always just going into like with perspective that like, do I want to spend the money and travel, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
So this festival will make money. 21 Pilots alone are playing arenas and selling out arenas, even this year. So it's going to make money. I don't like the idea of Gojira having to support 21 Pilots, but that's how it would play out.
Yeah, it would.
In the chat, I'm not going to make a poll because it takes too long, blah, blah. Type in all caps, yes or no. Would you go to New Sick New World? Boy, is this a replacement. Alex, would you go to New Sick New World?
I would.
Okay. Rowan, would you go to Sick New World?
You know what? I might say no, actually.
Okay.
Because because Gojira's the only band I know and like enough that like I would want to like go through the hassle of spending money and traveling to
Put
the
down
show.
the knife,
you know?
Alex. Alex, put down the knife. It's
Hey.
This is my last show, people.
Everyone listening on the podcast that can't see this, Alex just picked up a knife and is making a slashing motion. Ugh.
You know, I'm currently bleeding from my arm right now. I need serious medical attention. She's still coming at me. So
Alex,
please help.
Alex, how did you reach over that far from 3 time zones away?
You're a liar.
So, I would go. There's nothing here that's crap. There's really not. And it's going to make a lot of money. So,
You can't tell me with a straight face that you wouldn't go see all of these other bands. I'm not talking to you, Rowan, but don't. Okay, I'm not talking to you. But all of these bands have something fun about them.
They do.
And you know what? You're gonna bop to Stressed Out. You know you are.
It's a hodgepodge.
It's the only Stressed Out and like 2 other songs are like that's all I know of 21 Pilots.
And you're gonna bop, and you know it.
Hey, I'll say this to Rowan. I don't know if this is what you'd be going to the festival for. After Gojira, there's going to be a lot of ladies at that 21 Pilots concert. A lot. A lot.
Yeah, and they all want to get with the singer.
They do.
The
drummer, yeah, they do. Like, they won't be looking at you. I'm just saying, after it's over, you can start talking to them after the show's over and after they left stage. You just have to wait. So, by the way, I'm seeing almost all yeses across the board in the chat. So, I'm saying that's a rousing success. I'm not saying we did better than what Sick New World booked. I'm just saying we got 100% unanimous response from the people that responded in chat. That's more than Sick New World had. Now we go to Asylum Fest. Thank you again for the super chat. We do really appreciate it. YouTube revenue is brutal, so any super chats go a long way to help fund everything. So, Asylum Fest. White Asylum, if you're still here, here you go. Number 1. Skillet.
If they only stick to like certain songs and they keep it to a minimum.
2012 and before?
Yeah.
So they do put on a fun spectacle live shade show. They really do. There's no easy way to say this. Have you ever seen those like Pentecostal and huge Southern super churches that put on the big smoke and stage show with all the lights and the full band? That's
like a
Skillet.
mega church?
Yes, that's Skillet now.
Oh my god.
Like he has the smoke shooters on his arms and there's lasers going nonstop. Yeah. And then he talks about Jesus. It's a super church on stage. Yeah.
If John Gerber becomes a mega church pastor, oh my god.
He's tried a few times. You tried a few times. I would also just like to say White Asylum said, I'm not here. As soon as Skillet came up. It's like, nope, not me.
My god.
See, he's not even like the political side of it. He's more, oh man, how do I want to say this? The country has lost its Jesus roots, and I'm going to be the prophet to bring you Jesus back to all of you. That's more his route. So, number 2.
My faith, my family.
Rancid. Boy, that's weird already. Rancid and Skillet, huh?
Wow.
Ah.
Backstage.
I know, right?
I love Rancid, though.
I know. Oh, they're fun live.
Yeah.
Number 3. Parkway Drive.
All right. Yes.
We'll even pull in the budget for the big rotating fire cube and all the pyro. We'll make sure it's the European and Australian stage setup. We'll make sure everything there. If Skillet gets their stage set up, so does Parkway Drive. That's only fair. Number 4 for Asylum Fest. Ooh, qualifier. The crowd demands it. Replace any one of the previous bands with the next band.
I mean, do we even need a poll?
I think we have lucked out. Are we going to remove Skillet?
Yeah.
Asylum
Yeah.
Fest, you just got a big gift. So, we have Rancid, we have Parkway Drive. Number 3, Code Orange. That's
Nice.
this is an increasingly heavy festival. Not bad, White Asylum. Number 4 for us. Oh, everyone's already saying because it's catching up. Skillet, replace Skillet. Skillet, get rid of Skillet. Replace Skillet.
Yeah.
And someone else just said, "Oh, it can be saved."
It can't be saved. It's like
So, Code Orange. Number 4, Dragon Force. Fine, that's fun. I at least get the vibe of it.
there's something for the D&D nerds.
Yes, exactly. And number 5, Three Doors Down.
Ooh, so close. So close.
You know, we reached for the sun and got burned a little bit. Now, I'm not saying they don't have an audience. I'm just saying they're one of the most boring bands I've ever seen live.
I still remember you. It was only like last week, right? When you like told me like
It was 2
oh, yeah,
weeks
you saw
ago.
him
Yeah.
You saw him live, and he was just like looking down, hands in his pocket, looked like
Correct.
he wanted to be
That's
anywhere else.
That's this performance. Yes, that is correct. So I took the
If
photo.
he's the
so.
opener, and it's quick.
See, they would be the
Hopefully.
closer. They would have to be the closer.
Maybe the closer?
Who else would it be? They've sold the most albums. They're the household name. Somehow.
I guess but Parkway Drive is like they're known for putting on a spectacle. If anyone would be the headliner.
Oh, see, that's the problem. Oh, I just realized. Yeah, it's good we got rid of Skillet because Three Doors Down and Skillet, even I wouldn't go to that. So, however, Three Doors Down with Dragon Force, Code Orange, Parkway Drive, and Rancid. So, everyone in the chat, type all caps, yes or no. Would you go to it? Alex, would you go to Asylum Fest?
I would.
Yes, you would. Rowan, would you go to Asylum Fest?
Yes.
Okay. I also would, and I just sit back and laugh and talk with friends during Three Doors Down. I can do that. I'll be there.
To be fair, it's not the worst
No,
thing.
the
ever.
music is... You cannot be offended by Three Doors Down and the music. You can't.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like actively horrendous. It's just not
Yeah,
that entertaining.
it's not like an immediate killer or something. Yeah.
So I asked everyone yes or no. Someone said, okay. So I see a couple no's. Yes, if it was free. Yes, with an asterisk.
Asterisk.
Screw
Screw y'all, I would. Sorry. Sorry, I'm reading it with you.
Yes, but leave early for Three Doors Down. I mean, we can't force you to stay. You already bought the ticket. So you know what? Almost saved until Three Doors Down. Yes, but only if cheap. It would not be a Sick New World $500 ticket. It may be closer than we would have wanted. Yes, even with Three Doors Down, I'm saying this is a yes. You see why I put those qualifiers in there? They don't come up often, but every time they always work out.
Yay, thank you.
Except for the Kid Rock one that ruins everything, but that's besides the point. So, thank you all for hanging out with us this week as we get into the always brutal month of December for news coverage. Then again, it's all still coming out, so I guess we still have stuff to cover, and we definitely will. List month is coming. I'll have videos on the best albums, the worst albums, the biggest news stories, all that stuff. That'll be coming out this month on the channel. Alex, do you have anything you want to end with before we get to your words of wisdom or joke or trying to get you?
Nope, I'm good, thank you.
Rowan, how about you?
She gave us a hint about like what the nature of the joke before the call. Just be ready, chat. Be ready for booze.
I did not. Did not say anything.
Okay. Well, while these two argue, I just want to say thank you all again. Please hit the like button, tell your friends. Leave comments tomorrow. Once this is live, I'll try to respond to every comment that I see tomorrow. So thank you all again. We do appreciate a live audience. We had a good number of people watching. We had a good number of engagement. We had a super chat. We really appreciate all this. Finally, as I have a sleeping dog that just snored a little next to me. Alex, do you have anything you would like to end the podcast with?
What do you call an illegally parked frog?
I feel like I could get this if I think about it.
Stop thinking about it. Just answer.
It's something, a toad, like something toad.
Toad, yep. Yay,
Toad.
you win.
Truck?
No, just toad.
Just toad.
Oh.
You call it toad, get it? Like, we did figure it out. However, did Did you get us
Yeah,
or
I
not?
know.
Did you get us or not? I don't even know.
I'm not even happy with this one, so I don't know. I don't know about this
Okay.
one. Toad. Yeah, I came in
The
with
wording
Toad
took
today.
me a sec.
Yeah, it did take us. It took me a second too. I didn't get it right away. So there's that. So
Because that was like the only frog pun I could like think of, but it's
Yeah.
like that doesn't make sense.
we didn't say anything.
See?
We didn't say anything stupid like Ribbit Mobile or something like that. So
Yeah.
Mobile. The hell's a ribbit mobile?
I just imagine like a Volkswagen Bug that's green. It has like the little frog ears.
Oh my goodness. I feel like somebody has that somewhere.
Probably
Oh, someone definitely has that.
a super truck painted green and like just like the fake green ears. Goodness. Ugh. Ah, what a lovely. Oh, someone just put a frog emote in the chat. That's how we know it's time to go. That's how we know. It's time
like
to
adequate.
say goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Alex and Rowan say goodbye to the chat and the frog lovers out there.
Take care.
Bye.